Hi and welcome to Love Doing Yoga on this Friday evening. Hope you've had a lovely week. If you're joining us on Facebook, it's lovely to have you along and thank you for joining us. If of course you're a patron, you're probably doing this at a time that suits you, as our patrons get 3 practices sent to them every week for just €5 a month. So if you're considering becoming a patron, you might like to check out more about us on our website. So this evening our practice is really looking at the whole body, but with a particular emphasis on the upper legs, where we're doing some strengthening and stretching exercises and a little bit of core work. So hopefully you will enjoy that. So throughout the practice, listen to your body and only do what feels right for you today. Don't forget, if you're doing our April challenge, make sure you let us know when you've completed this practice so we can put you on our roll of honour for April for everybody who completed 4 practices during the month. And we'll be starting it all over again in May. So let us begin. Find yourself a nice, comfortable place to sit on your mat. If you're on a block, sit on the edge of it. If you're on your mat, or wherever you're sitting on your block or your mat, just locate your seat bones and evenly distribute your weight on both seat bones. So maybe just shift the weight into the right side and then shift it into the left side and then come back into the center, just ensuring that that weight is equally distributed across each seat bone. And rising up from the seat bone, just feeling your spine lengthen from here, becoming really aware of it, allowing each of the vertebrae to open up, releasing the shoulders and any tension that's in your shoulders, releasing your jaw, closing your eyes and letting go of your day and your world. Leaving everything outside the door. Just give yourself permission to slow down and be in this present moment. Let your attention go to your breath as you breathe in through your nose, filling your belly, and out through your nose. And just counting your breath as you inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Pause, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, and pause, 2, 3, 4. Continuing yourself, breathing in this way with a nice even breath. The inhale, the pause, the exhale and the pause, all being of the same length. And let's take 3 more breaths like this. And when you're ready, just opening the eyes gently and bring the soles of your feet together. Holding on to your ankles if you like. And just gently let your knees move up and down. So they're coming towards each other and then you're letting them move away. Nice and gently, not overdoing it, just letting those legs begin to move a little bit. And then coming to stillness, encouraging those knees to move away from each other, sitting up nice and tall, release the shoulders, release the jaw, encourage the knees to move towards the ground. I'm taking 2 more breaths here. And then crossing the legs, let's put the left foot in front of the right. Let your left hand come down by your side and draw the right arm up so it comes past your ear, and then take a little bend towards the left, softening that left elbow, keeping this right arm running past the ear. Take a gaze and your chest upwards. So you're just looking slightly upwards to keep everything nice and open. And 2 more breaths. And then bringing the right hand down by your side, just crossing your feet the other way. Let that right foot be in front this time. And draw the left arm up past the ear, and then taking that nice bend over towards the right, with the chest and the gaze looking upwards, and just enjoying that nice open stretch on the left side of your body. And 1 more breath here. And coming back to sit up tall. And if you're on a block, just pop down off it, keeping that right foot where it is. Just bring your left leg behind you. So you've got your right foot parallel with the long side of the mat, your right shin, and your left shin parallel with the short side of the mat. And let's take a little turn towards the right here, allowing the whole body to open up. So you're just letting the chest open, getting a little back bend in there as you take this twist. Keeping the shoulders soft, releasing any tension in the jaw. 2 more breaths. And let's take that to the other side. So just changing the legs around. Left leg in front, right leg to the side, and taking a little turn towards the left. So you're going to feel this right hip just extend a little bit as you open up the front of your body. And 2 more breaths here. Softening the shoulders, releasing the jaw, releasing any tension. And then just swinging around to come onto all fours. So with your hips over your knees and your feet straight out behind you, and your shoulders over your wrists, opening those fingers out nice and wide. Just line up your index fingers with each other so they're parallel to each other, and open the fingers out nice and wide. We're just pressing away from the mat a little bit. So the pose is quite dynamic. And we'll do a couple of cat-cows. So tilting the pelvis, dip the belly, open the chest, raise the gaze for your cow pose. And then round through from your tailbone to the crown of your head for your cat pose. And then moving between these two extremes. Nice and slowly. And if you want, you can synchronize it with your breath. Inhaling into your cow and exhaling through to your cat. 3 more times. And then coming to stillness, just lower yourself down onto your mat. Let the forehead come onto the mat, bringing your arms down by your sides. And we're just going to lift the legs up away from the mat. Engaging the core here to help you, lifting the pelvic floor, belly button in and up. And lower the legs. And again, engage the core by lifting the pelvic floor, belly button in and up, raise the legs. And bring them down. And one more time, preparing the body by engaging the core and then lifting the legs up. Good, and lower them down. Bringing the arms out in front of you. And let's just lift up the left leg and the right arm. And bring them down. And take the opposite side. Lifting them up. And bring them down. And again, changing sides to lift up and down. And changing sides again. And one more time each side. Good, and coming to stillness here. One more breath. Staying present in the practice. Moving yourself up onto all fours once again. This time, let the hands be a little bit in front of the shoulders. Curling the toes, push the hips back towards the heels, lifting the knees up as you move into your downward dog. Keep the knees bent, the heels away from the mat, and just pedal those legs nice and slowly towards your downward dog. Letting your gaze go towards your belly button, pushing the hips back towards the back of the room. And then when you're ready, coming to stillness. 2 more breaths. And moving from here into your plank. So just let the hands walk forward a little bit, draw the shoulders over the wrists. Having your heels over your toes. Good. We're going to stay here for 3 breaths. If you'd like a little bit more of a challenge, you can come down onto your forearms. And engaging that core, lifting the pelvic floor, belly button in and up. And one last breath. And let the knees come down. Push the hips back towards the heels, forehead onto the mat. And take a little rest. If this position is uncomfortable for you, Just open the knees out wide, let the feet touch. And you can put one fist on top of the other and you might find that a more restful position. 2 more breaths here. And remember, yoga is not about how flexible you are or how much you can get yourself into the pose. It's about being present in the pose, whatever version of that pose is right for you today. But be fully present in it. And when you're ready, once again, coming up onto all fours, and let's step the right foot up and then the left. And come up to stand. Good. And from here, let's take it to the top of the mat, having equal weight on both feet and the feet about hip width apart, standing up nice and tall. We're going to step the right leg back. So stepping it back nice and far, as far back as it can go, while you can still keep that back heel, the right heel on the mat. Knee over ankle, square for the front leg, square up your hips. And then we're going to hinge at the hips, so we fold forward. Let your right hand come down towards the ground. If you can't reach the ground, that's fine. You could use a block or a book and just put your hand on it there to support you. Or if you don't have a block or a book handy, you can always put your right hand onto your left thigh if you need to. So whatever of those versions works for you, let's raise this left hand up and follow it with your gaze. One more breath here. Good. And drawing that hand down, framing this left foot. Let's just swivel slightly on the right foot so the heel is now facing fully towards the back of the mat, and step that left leg back to come into your downward dog once again. Good. 2 more breaths here. And then lifting that right leg up in the air, bend the right knee and just let your right hip stack on top of your left. So you're kind of a little bit like a dog peeing, and look out under your right armpit. Good. 1 more breath here. And straightening the body up a little bit so the hips become square again. Let's step this right foot forward or help it along the way. So just bring it to the top of the mat, getting it there, whatever way works for you. And having the left hand now either on the mat or on a block, and raising the right arm up. Good, letting the chest and the gaze look up towards the ceiling, keeping a little bit of weight on that back left foot, so you'll feel a really nice stretch in the calf of that left leg. Good. 1 more breath. And again, framing this foot, stepping that right leg back, taking 2 breaths here. Now, as you exhale, drawing up the pelvic floor, belly button in and up. And let's lift that left leg up, stretching it out behind you. Bend the knee and stack the hips so you're looking out under that left armpit. And 1 more breath. And once again, level the hips, let the foot come down. And from here, let's come once again into our plank. So again, either up on your hands, or if you want, you can come down onto your forearms. If you're on your hands, have a little gentle bend in the elbows. Good, one more breath. And bring the knees down, pushing back into a rest. One more breath here. And making your way up onto all fours and then stepping up once again to the top of the mat. Having both feet in a nice straight line pointing towards the front. Equal weight in both feet. And once again, this time keeping the feet where they are, we're going to hinge at the hips. So just come to halfway and bring the arms out into a T. Have a softness in the knees, so we don't want to lock any joints. Keep the knees soft. Lift the pelvic floor. So to lift the pelvic floor, just think about drawing your two seat bones together and your pubic bone and tailbone together. So it's like you're trying to get all four bones to meet each other, and you'll feel the pelvic floor lift, draw the belly button in and up, and that just helps you to engage your core. One more breath here. And then let's continue the journey down into a forward fold. Bend your knees as much as you want to in your forward fold. See, can you get your lower rib cage to connect with your thighs. Hooking in with your breath here. As you inhale, feel the spine lengthen. And as you exhale, just see, can you get another millimeter deeper into the bend? 2 more breaths like that. And closing the feet together so the toes are touching and the heels are just a little bit apart. And then bend the knees, keeping the knees as much as possible over the ankles. They'll come a little bit forward, but that's okay. Bend the hips as though you're about to sit down. And then letting your fingertips touch either side of your feet. Let's then keep the legs as they are. Raise the torso up. Raise the arms up over the head. Engage that core. As we take 3 breaths here in this chair pose. And coming all the way up to stand, bring the hands onto the back of your pelvis and draw a little arc with the nose as you come into a nice back bend here. Two more breaths. And coming to upright. From here, let's just open those feet out to hip width once again. So your hip width is just about a fist and a half wide. And let's step the right leg back, stepping it as far back as it will go, and then let the knee come down onto the mat. Open out the foot. From here, bringing the hands down, just step that knee back a little bit further. As far back as it will go, so you get a nice stretch in the quad. Keeping this left knee over the left ankle. Check in with your foot that it's still pointing forward. And then raise the arms up so they're running past the ears. Keep the gaze in front. Now as we take 3 breaths here with each breath, as you exhale, just drop that pelvic floor, belly button in and up. One more breath. Good, bringing the hands down, stepping that left knee back and the right foot forward. So again, we've got our right knee over our right ankle. Let that left knee come back as far as it can, so you get the stretch in the quad, lifting the body, raising the arms so they run past the ears. Release your shoulders and your jaw. Being in the present moment, taking 3 breaths here. And letting the hands come down either side of the foot, stepping that right knee back, and this time just swing around to come down onto your mat, lowering the back down, keeping the knees bent, and having the feet about shoulder width apart. Becoming aware of your spine, the base of your spine, and where it is on the mat. And then just following your spine up, noticing how it moves away from the mat at the small of your back before rejoining it, and moves away again at your neck before the back of your head again joins the mat, lengthening through that spine. Becoming aware of your knees floating in the air. Being aware of your orientation on the mat, where your head is pointed, where your feet are pointed. Where your body meets the rest of the world. And just allow the body to totally relax and release all tensions. Softening your jaws, your shoulders, all of your joints, your elbows, wrists, fingers, hips, knees, ankles, toes, softening every joint. And identifying something in your life that you're really grateful for today. And acknowledging that gratitude. And letting your attention go to your breath as you breathe in through your nose, into your belly, and out through your nose. Keeping your attention on your breath as you follow its movement through your body. If your attention drifts off, just note it and bring it back to your breath.